Enough shelf space is a pretty big issue. Why is YA the most readed collection if it has the highest cert rate?
Yeah, especially because more and more good titles are being published every year. There's a ridiculous growth in the industry. And both adults and children are reading it. I heard of a Borders the other day, one of the ones that's going out of business. Their YA books are only 10% off. The rest of the books are 30% off. That's how sought after YA books are. Another thing you can do, though, is to give them ownership of the books, to allow them to write reviews into the books, or write reviews into the fancy schmancy new catalog. Put teen recommended spine stickers on the books to actually allow them ownership of the books in a way.
You can also have teens post reviews on your library blog. Opening your blog to teenagers is a great way to involve Library 2.0 and making teens feel comfortable.
And something that YouMedia found out is where your collection is determines how well it moves. Back when their collection was on the 7th floor, not the same thing as now that it's on the 1st floor.
Digital labs are all the rage in the Chicago area library. The one downtown at YouMedia has a recording studio where kids go in kind of thinking that they want to be Kanye West, but then they come out and they figure out, oh my God, there's so many cool parts of recording. It's a chance just to mess around and, get your fingers dirty with music and equipment. And have it be an area that you have to show respect to be respected in, which I think is a big part of, growing up for young adults. At YouMedia, only young adults are allowed in digital labs. You have to have a Chicago Public Library card. I believe at the Skokie Library you could be an adult as well, but you had to have the library card.
You have to have a high school ID to use anything at YouMedia. Or the equivalent. They also cater to homeschoolers.
It used to be that kids would come to the library to take information and bring it home. And what we think now is that kids will be bringing information to the library and using the center here to distribute and share with other kids who come to the center and other kids throughout the city. Teen advisory groups are a big part of Library 2.0 service because they have excellent input. Teenagers love to tell you what they want, what they think is cool, what they think isn't great. So a lot of libraries across the nation really focus on having teen advisory groups, advisory boards from local high schools come in and talk about, whether or not programs are working or what they would like to see in the library. Universally, everyone says, have food at your programs, have food at your meetings, because again, these are growing young adults.
I got to sit in on the teen advisory board meeting at Northbrook. And there was food.
Yes.
And that was when they put the spine stickers on the books. They all ran off and got them and put them on, and they discussed what they were going to be doing to decorate for summer reading.
One example of teenagers really having a hand in improving the library has been the East Greenbush Summer Reading Program. A library from a different department essentially became the young adult librarian, and from the start she thought she really wanted to kind of revamp how they listen and talk to teenagers, starting with the summer reading program. So she went into high schools to actually meet with kids, to talk about what they would do if they ran the program. And the feedback she got was really valuable because kids were talking about how, for example, how they measured reading goals was really unproductive for busy kids, especially slow readers. So they talked about things being time-focused rather than page-focused. Like, if your goal is read for an hour every day, that's so much more achievable than reading 50 or 70 pages if you're a very slow reader. So that really helped. And also it helped to focus on smaller prizes like, having a $20 gift certificate to the movies or to get your nails done versus a $200 guitar that someone may not know how to play. The final piece of input that was kind of hilarious was the librarian's big challenge at the end of the year. If you could read as many books as she challenged you to, then the kids could give the librarian a makeover. The picture you're seeing is the makeover. I don't believe she had any markings on her neck before the kids won the challenge. And the results, the summer reading program participation increased by 107% that year.
A lot of libraries will claim they have very successful teen programming because they get in those key 8th graders who are 13, 14 years old, and they therefore say, yay, we've got teens. 13 is a teen. But we're really talking about people who have a driver's license, and retaining them through 13 isn't hard. Retaining them through 18 is the problem. So you look at all of these books, and A lot of them have pictures of young people that they're calling teens, but really look 9 to 11 years old. It's harder to have programs that work for the bigger teens.
We found some examples of programming that really works. We have a link here for the Library of Games podcasts that come out of UMedia, and I think that's significant because when they were originally getting grant money to put games into the library, a lot of the people on the board said they didn't want to have anything with like an MA rating. And instead they came up with this idea that if the teens actually recorded their own podcasts and reviewed the games, maybe that would be instructional and helpful in a way. And the board was so blown away by how dedicated these teenagers were to expressing themselves and to reviewing the game and being thorough about it and making lists and getting excited and engaged that, I think they have unlimited games.
We'll put the link in the sidebar for this.
Oh, yeah.
Other things that work really well are nerd gaming and manga clubs. Get those Magic players in those. Get those D&D players in there. Extended study hours and food during finals week. At Northbrook, they call it Finals Cafe, and it was actually featured in one of those books on the last slide. Doing cool craft programs that the kids actually want to do, like duct tape and henna.
Doing things that are very real-world oriented that kids feel nervous or anxious about, like job fairs and getting college and financial aid information out there. Just having these links on your portal apparently are extremely popular. Definitely on the Skokie portal, it's a big deal. The great thing about these programs, it gets you a lot of word-of-mouth advertising, which is authentic and valuable for your relationship with teenagers. There are also prom programs, like there's a manga prom program, or even programs that make your own prom dress and stuff like that. And
or programs that just have fashion shows.
Yeah, just fashion shows.
Get the kids in there. They're collection connections or just making them comfortable with the space. There don't have to be collection connections for everything. Poetry slams, most libraries, even small libraries like Berwyn, the poetry slams are the only thing that get the teens in there. And most libraries, the Dance Dance Revolution, the Call of Duty, the Rock Band, that gets kids in. Now, if you're in a particularly affluent community, like Northbrook, that might not work because kids all have them at home, or at least their friends do. But at most libraries, those are pretty gold.
Another example of collaborating with high schools and going out and meeting teens where they have to be during the day are programs like LitWorks, which is a collaboration between the Eisenhower Public Library in Harwood Heights and Ridgewood High School, which is in neighboring Norwich. The young adult librarian at Ridgewood collaborates extensively with the Eisenhower Public Librarian, bringing in authors and running online and physical book clubs to pump up interest for these authors' books, and then having just a festival they hold at both Eisenhower and at the Ridgewood High School. So, the lesson here is that, when you're going out to the community and you're listening to kids, also listen to their teachers.
Book clubs with teens. Maybe meet out of the library at Starbucks. Northbrook does that. It's cool. Get them the books from Interlibrary Loan or get them donated as paperbacks so the kids don't have to go off looking for them. Mm-hmm. And choose populist books that kids want to read. Don't try to make them read The 17th Summer. I don't even want to read that. Do Hunger Games. Do what's ever popular at the time. Right now, when we're recording this in April of 2011, do Match. Pick what kids are wanting to read right now. If you're going to meet at the high school, find a time what kids want to do. Figure out the culture of your high school. Maybe meeting at the high school is a better idea.
I wanted to close with this quote. Teens need their space. They need their own space, a place to feel comfortable, relaxed, and truly at home. This is no exception when it comes to libraries. Without a separate young adult section, these teenagers would be shuffled between the babyish feel of the children's department and the overwhelming sensation of being part of the adult section. The confusion that is felt during adolescence would only be intensified, and the search for identity would get lost when spending too much time searching for an appropriate book. This is why it's important to reach teens and reach out to them, both virtually through 2.0, like the online things, and also through the physical service that we've depended on throughout time.
And this quote is in the first Teen Programs That Work book, she was a teenager in the library of the editor. And when the second edition came out, she was a young library student.
Aww.
So, aww.
That's our presentation. Thank you so much for listening to us, and hope you have a great day. This is Marissa.
This is Emma. Bye.